Oh, is it
Oh.
there?
Wow, that was weird. Something weird just really happened on my computer. Like 5 different screens opened at once, and then I was like, "What's going on here?
Can
How's
you
it
see
going?"
me? Can you see me?
Yeah, I can.
Because all I can see is a black screen for my camera, so I don't know what it looks like. If it looks good, if it looks bad, I can't see it. So
It looks like you're moving around a little bit. Uh-oh.
you said, "Oh, all I did was turn the camera off." Yeah, I'm on my phone. I don't have my stand or anything like that, but I got locked out of another computer. So
Not.
what's up? You don't need to clap because I heard you clap so much in the last half an hour.
Hey, I wasn't having to be restrained, and I was down here just enjoying that. Finding a way to get a win amidst struggle was awesome.
Well, I think your viewers would appreciate seeing that side of you.
I let a little out, but I try not to go overboard.
So how's it going?
Pretty good. I'm trying to knock a bunch of stuff out this weekend, and I got everything done, but I just didn't get home in time for the basketball game, so I felt a little bit bad about that. But that's why I didn't put a stream up for it, because I wasn't sure I was going to make it. And I've been ready to talk about the Super Bowl for like 5 days.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was Saturday, and so I've been extremely sick for pretty much like over a week now, and so I've really lost track of everything. Do you hear an echo?
No.
Because I hear a really loud echo.
I do not hear an echo.
Do you hear an echo? I think I've got a solution. All right, I'll be right back.
Yep. Yeah, Eddie, I'm with you. I've been working a lot too. Oh, do you hear it within? Wonder, is it when I talk or when she talks?
All right. Is there still an echo?
Okay. Yeah.
I still hear the echo with me, and I feel like I don't know why.
Do you have a YouTube window open as well?
I can't have multiple windows open on a cell phone.
Oh, duh.
So it's not on my.
And the computer. I wonder if is it picking up the microphone from your computer?
I don't have a computer on.
Then how is that happening?
Probably because your computer's so loud and I can hear you downstairs.
It's not that loud.
Still echoing? Yeah.
Well, let's see. Hang on a second. I'll see if I can do something to kind of sway it if I can. I don't know.
I am trying. It's so hard to work StreamYard through a cell phone.
Let's see. Maybe I don't know what the heck's going on. It shouldn't be, because I'm at the same volume, same setup that I'm always at.
Yeah, I've got my echo cancellation turned on.
Yeah, me too.
Wait. Okay, is it better now?
What's up, Mostly? Nice to see you, bro. I don't know. I like I said, I don't hear anything, any echo. Mickey says it's still there. Hey Mickey, I'm gonna dip for a second. Tell me when she talked. Well, that ain't gonna help.
I ain't gonna fix nothing. I'm trying to leave right now.
Well, so, and maybe we'll get this figured out. Not sure what happened, but when you go 5 or 6 days without jumping on there and streaming, sometimes you come back with technical difficulties. I've been having issues on my end too. So anyway, oh, I got you, Mickey. Yeah, I'm not sure. That's probably going to be the only way she can hear it, though. But you know what? I've streamed on StreamYard through my phone before like that and never had an issue.
Well, yeah, I was gone because I was gone. I think it had to do with, when I came in here and I told you that my camera was black, but I could see you. See, now I can see myself and there's no echo. But since we're 7.5 minutes in, what's up, everybody? I didn't know what day it was until about 3 hours ago. So, the reality of that the Super Bowl is tomorrow. The Echo is coming back, by the way. But I can't believe it's tomorrow.
Yeah, this week went by really fast. It allowed me to sit and ponder, and I came up with some real interesting analogies for what I think and how I feel about it, and then I can express some realities that I didn't get a chance to express last year when Cincinnati was playing in the Super Bowl. The echo is back.
Will you elaborate on that a little bit? Because I don't really understand what you mean.
I'm looking at the scenario, correct? The scenario for me is, so you've got a team that's riding on a young quarterback with a young staff, a young coach, coming against a very seasoned, battle-tested team, and I think that's gonna mean something in the end, especially like last year, because you saw Fat Stafford, and and the basically the teacher up in the student in the first attempt in a Super Bowl.
I feel like you can't call him Fat Stafford because you were like his biggest fan last year.
I was his biggest fan last year. I was so high on him going to the Rams because I like him. I still call him Fat Stafford because I remember when he was a chubby guy. And it's out of love.
There's nothing out of love calling somebody fat.
Dude, he was, when his first few years in Detroit, he was a big kid. And you know what? I felt really good for him last year because he got out of a situation, and actually inevitably ended up helping the Lions and got himself a Super Bowl.
He got a ring, but put himself in a worse situation.
Yeah,
this year's Rams, I would go on any year Lions team over this year's Rams.
Yeah, but you know what? I mean, like I said, they sold their soul for that Super Bowl. They got what they wanted. They almost didn't get it. And I think coming down this week, I think the experience is going to play a lot. And I think I was reading at the end of the season that where I thought the biggest turmoil in this game would be is Kansas City's O-line versus that defensive line. And Kansas City ended up having the number one blocking offensive line against passing. So I felt like their defense is playing better. I'm really high on the Chiefs right now, but a lot of people are not. A lot of people really think that Philadelphia has a better roster. That may be true, but I feel like with the experience, but even the experience in the coordinators right now, I'm really leaning towards Kansas City.
I honestly like in taking my bias out of this game. This game truly is like a coin flip for different reasons. One's because of overall team talent. The same thing I felt about San Francisco is kind of how I feel about Philadelphia. Is like like the worst guy on that Eagles defense is better than probably a lot of guys in the NFL. And so so you've got the talent, not so much the experience of the playoffs and the Super Bowl, but like the talent of the Eagles. And then I'm not saying Kansas City's not talented. I think there are a lot of talented guys on there. There's a lot of young guys as well. But you when you've got a mastermind who likes to play chess like Andy Reid does, like I feel like these two teams really match up well. You look at it on the outside and you're like, the Eagles probably will kick the crap out of them. Like that's what the world thinks. And when you see everybody on the same side, it's because I don't really dive deep into these kind of things. They're just like, yeah, Eagles, they're really good. But I did my research. I've done my homework, and so the thing that's interesting to me, and I'm not taking away the talent and what they've accomplished this season, is that you know the level of the strength of schedule difference between the Chiefs and the Eagles are vastly different. One of the toughest teams they played were Dallas, obviously, and they got to play them twice, but they lost to Dallas in the regular season. And the last time they played a playoff caliber quarterback that was completely a team that was completely healthy was in like week 2 or week 3. It's been a long time since they've played obviously the Niners.
And there she goes.
Somebody was calling me. This is why I don't like streaming on my phone, because anything happens and everything goes wrong. Um, but so they have been tested and learned how to grow over the season, like together. This lighter schedule has helped them become inevitably a better team, because they haven't had the pressure of facing Buffalo, facing Cincinnati twice, facing all these tough teams all through the season. I'm not, like I said, I'm not taking away from that. I think that having a lighter schedule and being such a good team, that there's a lot of new pieces on that team. It has given them time to build a strong bond and make them a better football team. And so, but I like this matchup for a million and two different reasons. Like I just think it's such a good test for both of these teams.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly about the schedule. I did not think that. Let's just the only team that was on their schedule that you can even remotely make a comparison that is equal value of Kansas City somewhat on offense is Green Bay, which is a struggling passing game, but they had to put up 40 to win that game. Um, Aaron Rodgers had a really good game against the Eagles. They say that secondary is, see, when you want to get down to where we're at with the defense, I think that Philadelphia's defensive line is going to get penetration. I think they're going to get in there, but I think Kelce's going to also have 14 catches. I think it's going to come down to that. I think Pacheco's going to be able to run the ball. And with Clyde Edwards-Helaire back this week, he may not be the power back, but you know what? Screens are going to be a big play in this game because the dunk pass is going to be huge. Trying to, I know that everybody thinks that, since Patrick Mahomes stuck it out on his ankle, that his ankle's healed. I don't think it's healed. I think he's just playing on a hurt ankle. You can say he ran 18 miles an hour, the fastest that he had to run in that game last week or 2 weeks ago. But, he came out and said that it hurt for 2 days after for that run. It's still not healed. Those don't just go away. But
No,
I
it's
think
usually
I
at
think
least
the
a
middle. I
month,
think the
right?
dip and dunk game is going to be where it's won at off. For Kansas City. Also, if Kansas City's D line steps up to the challenge, the Philadelphia is going to have to win the game with the passing game. That's the way Cincinnati beat Kansas City earlier in the season. They had to throw the ball over them, and take on them cornerbacks. I can't wait to see Jalen Hurts try. I think he's a good quarterback. I think the moment might be a little bit bigger than him right now, though.
I wouldn't say bigger than him. I don't think it's bigger than either of these two quarterbacks. I think they're great quarterbacks. That's why they were MVP and MVP runner up. They're both number one seed teams. They were the teams when the regular season ended, essentially giving you the number one seed or your pick for the Super Bowl. And so they played out to what they were supposed to be, and went through all of the playoffs and got here. And so I wouldn't say it's too big for them. I think the fact that these are pretty young rosters for the most part is good for both teams. Because if you are a really young team going up against a very veteran team in the Super Bowl, you feel like even if you're the better team, you don't have that much of a chance because they've been there. They know the area, they know the environment, they know what it takes, and so like you feel like you're outmatched just because of experience. And I think experience takes a big role in it, but like a lot of these guys are very close in age. These two teams are really young, and other than a couple veteran players that both teams have added and stuff, but um, I don't think this game's too big for Jalen Hurts, and I don't think this game's too big for Patrick Mahomes either. Patrick Mahomes have the experience. He knows what it's like to win one, and he knows what it's like to lose one, and so he knows the best and the worst feeling. Hurts, he's getting that initial first time, getting to see the bright lights on the biggest stage in the country, and so like I'm excited to see. You know, I feel like this game is going to be big for his future. Whether win or lose, how he performs in this game is going to be huge for his future. And I really like Jalen Hurts. I think he's a good player. I think he's grown a lot since last year. And yeah, getting a guy like AJ Brown helps, but they are not a predominant passing team. So like you can say that matters, but I don't know that did matter as much as people think it did.
Yeah, to go ahead and further go into that just a little bit, if you go back, let's hold on a second. I got it here real close. It's right by me. Where's it at? If you go back just to the AFC Championship game, I put that into perspective. The job that Kansas City's defense did on Cincinnati, where did Cincinnati's points and passing yards come from? T. Higgins, they got 150 yards, which they got 100 and 200 yards between all their wide receivers. But, at the same time, there was only one touchdown in there. That defensive line stood up to the challenge, made him get the ball out. Against the passing game, they played excellent. The running game, you're right, was non-existent. Philadelphia will try to run the ball quite a bit more. I really think Philadelphia can win on the defensive side of the ball too if they can cause mayhem and cause some mistakes. Tip balls have been a problem for most every quarterback in the NFL this year. It seems like everybody's playing the tip. A couple turnovers and what could be a close game could go the other way. So I'm not saying Philadelphia can't win the game. I'm just saying that it's going to come down to the same thing that it always does, and that's who turns the ball over, who doesn't make the mistakes.
Yeah, I think, and we've been in here since September, going every single week of the NFL season saying, oh, well, we talk about a specific matchup and we're like, oh, well, whoever wins the turnover battle will win this game. I mean, look, here we are in February. We're going to be saying the exact same thing. Whoever wins this turnover battle, because this is a huge stage. This is a lot of high-powered offense for both teams, especially like what I'm afraid of is Kansas City going down early. Like the game that they like to play, we've seen it before. They'll go down 14 and come back and win by 14. No, they can't do that in this game. Like, this is not this Philadelphia team, the way they work, the way they're wired. You can't go down 14 points. Now, listen, if I put my trust in any quarterback to bring you back from that, it would be Patrick Mahomes. But I don't feel comfortable in thinking, okay, yeah, we can go down 2 or 3 scores and it'll just be fine. The way that this Philly offense, works and runs their team, they're very grindy. They'll wear the defense out. They will stick it to you in every spot that you didn't know it could happen. And their defense is literally no joke. They've got 4 or 5 guys with 10+ sacks this year. Hassan Reddick has been an absolute menace all season long. Uh, Now, I think they'll get through that Kansas City offensive line, and they'll get their hands on Mahomes. It'll happen. Just as I feel the same way on the other side, I think Chris Jones, Frank Clark, Carl Loftus, all those guys were going to be able to get their hands a couple times on Jalen Hurts. But I think Mahomes has the ability to extend plays. That's what makes him special. And if you just go back a couple years to the Super Bowl, where he was the only guy on the Chiefs team that showed up. And it hurts my feelings thinking about that, but it's true. He was the only guy. He showed up with no offensive line, and he was throwing passes level to the ground, hitting receivers right in the face, and they just didn't catch it. And so, he's not going to be the reason they lose this game if they lose. Like, I know for a fact, injured or not, he was injured in that Super Bowl. He's injured in this one. But I don't believe that this game will be a blowout for either team. I think this is, if you consider 7 points a blowout, that's the biggest. I think 7 to 8, maybe 9 points. Is the absolute greatest lead I can even imagine, our winning margin.
Yeah, here, if you want to tally it up, Philadelphia is number one in the NFL in sacks. They had 69 sacks in this season, but Kansas City was number two with 55. I mean,
Hold up a second. Hold up 1 second. This dude is coming in here with all the hostility in the world, and so let's go back to that Super Bowl for just 1 minute and see what happened. Okay, so Tampa Bay was really good. Okay, they had the best defense in the league. And we had the absolute worst offensive line in the league because 4 of our starters were injured. So we just pulled guys off the streets and put them up there. And like I just said, Mahomes was making the most incredible throws I've ever seen in my life. And he was hitting his receivers right in the face or right in the breadbasket. And no one showed up to that Super Bowl but him. I didn't say no.
Excuses? Hey.
I got no excuses. I came into that Super Bowl saying, oh, we're going to lose. Like, we have no O-line. My quarterback's injured.
I mean, okay. Let's put perspective. I mean, you're right in some of that aspect there. Tampa Bay that year had the number one defense, but let's just cut it. Let's just say exactly what it is. Jalen Hurts ain't no flipping Tom Brady. He's not even there yet. I'm not a big Tom Brady fan, but Tom Brady is a lot more quarterback than that kid. He's got to develop to be that kind of guy. He's not there yet.
Jalen Hurts is special, though. Like, as long as he stays healthy, just like Lamar, if he stays healthy, he's got a very long and successful career ahead of him.
One modern area. They only got one in modern area. One Super Bowl. I mean, that's fair, but they've been in 3 of the last 4.
4 of the last 5. Or
Yeah, I
3 of
mean,
the last 5.
you're it's a changing of the guard. For years it was, always New England. And look what I'm wearing on my hat. Changing of the guard, right? I mean, to go to the Super Bowl, you got to go through Kansas City. I mean, Riley, are you a Philadelphia fan or are you just a Grief
Nah,
fan?
he's a Brady cultist. Look at him.
Oh, he's a Brady cultist. I got it. Oh, I think you're wrong. I think if his career goes anywhere near the length that Brady's did, even a few years shorter, he will eliminate a lot of those records because he's already blowing past numbers that Tom could never achieve as a quarterback.
What's up, Mike? Good to see you.
Coco
Thanks for
Mike, nice
stopping
to
in
see you,
here.
brother.
Listen, I don't have the energy.
Okay, well, then let's see what Tom Brady was without Gronk. Oh, yeah, he lost. I mean, without Belichick, he won 1 season, but he had the best defense in the NFL. Your argument doesn't hold flipping water, ever.
Oh, no,
There's
he
no
is
way.
an Eagles fan. That's all right. Eagles fans are literally the worst fan base ever. Except for that, you know what? The internet has been chill, okay? The internet has been chill. But I've seen videos and clips of Philadelphia fans. They got like 6-year-olds flipping people off. Like they're the worst fan base. Like in Philadelphia, I don't know outside of Philadelphia, but in Philadelphia, they are the worst. Like they've got to be the rudest and most like maybe Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh might combat that.
In all honesty, there's not going to be much more Tom Brady conversation in the future. So I think everybody's just holding on to what they can for right now. And then it's just going to go away like he will to the, maybe the greatest announcer of all time. I don't know.
Well, Romo's going to get fired if he doesn't chill.
I don't, you know what? I know.
Here's what I'm saying right here. Philly fans are just mean. Like, they're just like, that's just how they are. I don't get it. And it's okay to be humble sometimes. Like, you beat Tom in the Super Bowl. You should be pretty humble. I lost to Tom in the Super Bowl. So, like.
Yeah, there's a lot of things that Philadelphia, the city of Philadelphia, owes more to Andy Reid than what they know. I mean, because he made that place a destination to play, even though he did get let go or however that finished up there.
It was mutual. I think I watched something like 2 days ago that it was like, he wasn't able to get over that hump and both of them kind of parted ways. It was technically a firing, but it was a mutual separation. Andy Reid was like, you guys, are looking for something else and I'm comfortable with going. So,
I mean, Riley, are you like a WWE The Rock fan? I mean, is that where that?
No, he's saying you're jabroni because Travis Kelce called the Cincinnati mayor a jabroni.
Oh, well, I mean, that's fair.
He deserved that, man.
I know they got Jalen all the stadiums. Stinger, thanks for the comment. When Alex and I toured Tampa Bay Stadium, we got to go see the jail inside there. They don't like to arrest the fans; they just put them in timeout.
Yeah, but they probably need like a bigger one in the Philly stadium.
Yeah, it's probably locker room size.
Like Randy Marsh at baseball games. That's every single Philadelphia Eagle fan. Like every single one of them, like all day of the week during Eagles season.
Honestly though, they couldn't have picked. With the 2 teams that are in there, the storylines are fantastic, which is going to make it high ratings tomorrow. I don't really think that there's going to be any wiping of any ass in this game. Riley, I think it's going to be. I think it's going to be tight. I think they're about.
I think it's going to be a 3 to 7 point game. Like honestly, a 1-score game. Like at the very most, a touchdown and a field goal. But like, I'm gonna take. If I had to take the over under of how much whichever team wins by, it's going to be under 10. Under 10 and a half.
Oh, stranger. Okay, well, I'm sorry. I didn't. I got you.
Yeah,
that's cool.
I think 9 is like the max amount of points either team will win by. Like, unless one of these quarterbacks or one of these offenses gets turnover prone, and it's a lot of anxiety in the Super Bowl. It's a big stage. The entire world's watching, and mistakes happen. And the Chiefs know what that's like, They had a bad day. And so, they understand that, and this is Jalen Hurts first. The Phillies not their first time, but Jalen Hurts first time. So as long as he can stay cool, calm, and collected, and Pat does the same, I think this will be a pretty evenly matched game. All I ask for from the Chiefs is just at least try. Let's just try to run the football. I know it's not going to be easy, but I just want to see you making the effort of trying. I know that Pat can throw the ball. I know that you got 15 guys that can catch a ball, but you got 3, 4, 5 guys because Melvin Gordon and Ronald Jones went to Arizona with him. So they got 5 different guys that can run the ball. I don't know how many are activated, but they got 5 of them. So if you could just try, that's all I'm asking for. I know it's gonna be a throwing affair, but some interesting things. Oh yeah, I hope Pop has a great game, honestly. But the thing that I thought was interesting about Philadelphia, because I was doing a little bit of research, just to familiarize myself a little bit, before, I've watched a lot of Eagles games, but I didn't study Eagles games. I just watched them as a fan. The Eagles are a pass first team in the first half and a run first team in the second half. When with the lead or without the lead, they don't run the ball that well or that much in the first half of any game. So I think if as a member of the Chiefs, as Andy Reid, and I'm sure he knows this because he's a genius, you need to take advantage while they're still in that pass mode. Make Jalen Hurts be a quarterback. And make him uncomfortable, make him throw the ball because your rookie secondary has done really well. You got to put some trust in them. They've made it to the biggest stage with you. And guys like L'Jarius Sneed, he went out in the AFC Championship game with a concussion 2 minutes in. That sucks so bad, but he'll be back to boost that a little bit. And so you need to make Jalen throw the ball early, and you need to get it all out. And try to get a lead. No, I think Melvin Gordon just fumbled because he hated Denver. I'm just kidding. I love Melvin. I think he's a great running back. Him and Denver were just not 2 peas in a pod, and so, he had some issues that he was working through, and I think a new system could always honestly be good for him.
Hey, and Mickey, just going to go back and say it. I'll say last week, I think Sky Moore's participation in the AFC Championship probably really helped Kansas City win that game because, with, both other receivers going down, he played an integral part in that game. He went back and caught punts and did kickoffs. He did all the stuff that he was having trouble with early in the year and did it very well in that game, did not make any mistakes. And, with no wide receivers left.
Yeah, that kick return from Sky at the end of the game was one of the biggest plays of his career, if not the biggest play of his career. The thing, and we can get into some prop bets. I will not be betting on this game, but if we want to get into some prop bets, we can. Towards the end, but one of the guys, he said Sky Moore, one of the guys that I've been thinking of, maybe not having 100 yards or 15 catches, but being a touchdown scorer is tight end Jody Fortson. I feel like he's gonna rise on this big stage and make some noise, win or lose. I think he's going to be a factor in Kansas City scoring in this Super Bowl. But yeah, for your point on Sky Moore, what Mickey says, that's a big mental boost for a young guy going into a big game like this. The last play he was involved in was a huge play and a much needed play. And so that just helps his mental, helps him get straight, and he's probably wound up ready to go into this game. And if he can make a big play in an AFC Championship game, who's to say he can't make a big play in a Super Bowl game?
Yeah, I just think that, and you know what? Once you go past, here's something that I don't know much about. Maybe you can help a little bit. I know about Kansas City's depth at all positions because I see them a lot more than I see Philadelphia. How's Philadelphia's depth at wide receiver? How's their depth once you get past Darius, their corners, their starting corners? Are they a very deep team?
I don't really know. I know a lot more about their offense and their D line than I do the
Now, I know their
secondary
D
or special
line.
teams.
Their D line has a lot of depth. I know they rotate 7 guys
Oh,
on
they
that
got like
defense line.
3 or 4 extra guys outside of the starters that can make big noise. So, yeah, I wasn't.
Yeah,
They got a top tier D line and they got a top tier O line as well. But I'm not really sure about their corners outside of like Darius Slay and that guy that came from the Giants. I can't remember his name, or no, the guy they got from the Saints. Yeah, Gardner Johnson. Yeah. Yeah, CJ Gardner Johnson. You're not saying anything, so I don't.
I'm trying to get back in here to
Chauncey, thank you. I knew it was something. He got them from the Saints. He's really good. They got Slay.
Bradbury was the one I was trying to think of.
And that's the
Bradbury.
one from the Giants. Yeah. See, I thought there was one from AKA CJ. Okay. I was like, I don't know where I got a CJ as soon as you said that name. But yeah, CJ Gardner Johnson. I mean, yeah, the Chiefs also lost to the Colts, but we suck against the AFC South. Couple of things though. Last year the Chiefs and Eagles did play against each other. Obviously, the Chiefs had Tyreek Hill, and they had a worse defense than they do now. And last year, the Eagles didn't have a couple of these defensive pieces or A.J. Brown, but the Chiefs did throw 5, or Patrick Mahomes did throw 5 touchdowns in that game. And it was one of my favorite games ever to watch. And also, Andy Reid is 3-0 versus former teams or coaches that he worked with or worked under him. So,
Yeah, let's see. Sirianni comes from Todd Haley, who was the former head coach
from
at Kansas
KC.
City.
Yeah, Sirianni and Andy Reid were in the building together for about 20 minutes, just long enough for him to let him go. I was actually watching a Sirianni interview about that yesterday.
Yeah, so the prop bets are kind of cool for this week or for this year. I gotta say that I like I saw the ones for like the stupid ones, like whether Rihanna will open an umbrella or not during the halftime show.
I love that. See, I'd bet on the halftime show.
Let's see. I heard completely different about that. I heard they want the guy from Philadelphia is what I heard, but they can have Callahan.
Oh yeah, I mean, listen, you had the best offense in football, and it did look like it half the time. So obviously, I don't think that OC is very good, or Zach Taylor's just really not good either. One of the two. I think Zach Taylor's gotten better, but I think somebody needs to change something in the offensive scheme for Cincinnati because they got a lot of talent that isn't going to be there forever, and they need to take advantage of now.
I did love this week's interviews, with T. Higgins and Jamar Chase, and talking about Burrow's contract extension and taking concessions to maintain his wide receiver core the way they want to keep it. I definitely appreciate it if he does take concessions on his contract to keep the guys around that he would like. See, that's what I thought. I
thought the Colts were going after Bieniemy, but they were waiting until after the Super Bowl.
Yeah, see, they postponed it until after the Super Bowl, but the Shane, the guy from Philadelphia, and I know, yeah, they're down to those two. Yeah, they must have. Because see, I thought Bieniemy was going to get.
Yeah, I thought they ruled out Callahan. See, that's what I thought I heard.
Well, let's just say that they're not going to announce it until after the Super Bowl. So one of those two coordinators is still in the running. And I guess that I don't know why they wouldn't announce it beforehand. So it's got to be one of those two. If it's down to two, it's got to be those two. Because why wouldn't you just go ahead and take the guy that you wanted from Cincinnati, because he's already done with this season? You'd want to get a head start on everything. I'd say
get
it's
him in the building. Yeah. But
the Pro Bowl. Yeah, Jeff Saturday I heard was still in the running too. Because I listened to Kent Sterling this morning, I think.
And I heard that Jeff Saturday was still in the running as well. I thought I heard Callahan was eliminated and Saturday was still in the running. Hey, Alex, guess where we're going in March? Where are you going, Pookie? Saturday for the boys. What's up, Burdens? You're being awkwardly quiet right now. I don't know what's going on.
Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I can't look at anything
I can't hear you
other
that
than
well
this.
Today.
Well, turn your volume up.
It's that stupid speaker that drives me nuts. I'm just having.
What is Ultra?
What is Ultra?
I'm not asking you.
Oh. I'm reading too, yes. But I had the volume turned down, so I thought maybe my volume was affecting her phone.
Actually, I think you might be right. The echo's really bad now. Right, oh, EDM. That's pretty sweet. That'll be fun. I overthought that. I was like thinking, I don't know, my head's all football right now, so I was like, I don't know what that is, but yeah, I know what you're talking about. That's pretty sweet, Pokey. Can you hear?
Yeah.
Hey, yo.
There you go. Maybe that'll help your echo.
I think the volume on your computer was really dictating the echo.
Yeah, but I had it. You're probably right. But that's
because as soon as you turned it up, like it was really, really bad.
I mean,
feeling better? Not really. I'm gonna be honest with you. I've got a really nasty cough, and I don't have a fever today, so that's a plus. I would pick this week of all weeks to get like this sick though. Like I've been really sick this week.
Yeah, I haven't heard a whole lot out of you this week.
I've been hiding.
Obviously.
Yeah, there is a sickness going around in Arizona as well. So I don't keep tabs on Philly players, so I don't know if the sickness hit them, but the Chiefs players, a lot of them got sick this week.
Well, I'll tell you what, since we got we got at maximum about an hour left that we can go, I'm going to start looking at some of these prop bets for tomorrow, and I'm going to try to figure out where I'm going to spend my money on the game, because I know
anytime touchdown Jody Fortson, and for the Philly side, anytime touchdown Boston Scott.
I love Boston Scott. I love
Yeah,
the
see,
running back.
Pizzle's on the Boston Scott train. We talked about it the other day. I also like if you want to parlay them together, that Patrick Mahomes and Jalen Hurts each score a rushing touchdown. I kind of like that too.
Let's see. I gotta get on here and see my bet. See, I haven't been on here yet to actually look at it. I should have looked at it earlier. I was just watching this, the props. They talk about them on TV and stuff.
Yeah, you can bet on the color of the Gatorade.
Yeah, they're saying green for Philadelphia, man, on the Gatorade color is like plus 650, something like that, and I think that's a good bet.
I would probably go with yellow or clear.
Any wide receiver over 55 yards. Let's see, where's all my.
Also, they've got the odds at plus 100 for the coin toss, like heads or tails. So if that's a 50-50 shot, like that's the most honest 50-50 shot you're going to get. And so if you're into that, I would definitely put one on there. Personally, I would put money on tails. Tails never fails, but every time I bet on tails, it goes heads. So, they got a plus 100 for the coin toss, but they've also got it parlayed that you can do, like the Chiefs to win the toss and to win the game, or the Eagles to win the toss and win the game, or you can have it the opposite, like the Chiefs to lose the toss but win the game, or Eagles to lose the toss and win the game. So, you know, I think those were pretty high. I can't pull them up on my phone and because I'm using my phone to stream, but those were a couple different ones I saw. There's also the octopus bet, and I always put money on that every single year. And so I did that like 2 weeks ago. And basically, the octopus is for like a player to score a touchdown and be the person to score a 2-point conversion on the same series. So, like, if Patrick Mahomes threw a touchdown to Kelce and they go for two, Kelce would have to catch the 2-point conversion, and that's an octopus. So, I every year I put that down for either team to score an octopus. There's the bet that the odds are stupid high for the first play of the game to be a safety. That's only hit one time in the Super Bowl. Peyton Manning.
So here you go. I'm looking at. I'm on. I don't do the FanDuel or of course not the FanDuel, but I don't do the DraftKings anymore since my account got jacked up. What do you think, Travis Kelce under or over 84 yards receiving?
I want to say over, so that means I would bet the under. Like, I personally believe over, so I would bet the under.
Yeah, see, I'm just sitting there kind of like looking, and
I feel like the odds are better to go under, like for betting purpose.
yeah, I can't bet from here since I'm not in Indiana. Oh, we'll send it.
But there was one that I saw of what's that wide receiver for the Eagles? Callaway, no, Watkins, Quez Watkins.
Love
So
that guy.
there's a bet that the odds are like it would need to be parlayed for it to mean anything, but his over under yards are like 12.5, and like every catch that guy has is usually like 30 yards. So I would take the over on that 12.5 because I feel like that's a pretty safe bet. And then I was trying to think of the yardage they gave for other guys too. I think MBS was pretty low. I would take the over on his. Jerick McKinnon's was like 24. I would take the over on his as well. See, I could see a lot of guys getting for the Chiefs personally, like or for the Chiefs specifically. I could see a lot of guys getting a lot of catches, but no one going over 100. But like everybody getting like 50. Like he's got 10 guys he can throw to. If 10 guys get 50 yards, that's still 500 yards. So like I don't know if anybody will go over 100 yards for the Chiefs receiving. But I think a lot of guys will catch balls and have a lot of opportunity. Now, for the Eagles, I would probably put money on Dallas Goedert, probably over, I don't know, 55. Over 55 is a good range. And Devontae Smith, he's the one that I would take the under on.
Yeah, because he's one of those guys that can either really be huge in a game or non-existent.
Yeah, I would take the under on Devontae Smith. And AJ Brown, I wouldn't take an over-under. I would just put in a number, like whatever number you think, because like I don't know. I really don't know how either of these secondaries are going to come out playing. It's hard to tell. That's why it's gambling.
It all depends on how fast they get to the quarterback, both defensive lines.
Both of them are capable, and both of them have.
Yeah, so it's like all week long, all you've heard about is Mahomes' ankle. Well, you got to remember that Lane Johnson has a torn groin, and he's playing right tackle against Chris Jones. I mean, do you really think that that's not a disadvantage for Lane Johnson?
Lane Johnson's so good though.
A torn groin, and
that he already had torn once.
I know, but he's got to have surgery after the season's over. But you get what I'm saying. I just feel like there's things to offset the balance of whatever you want to give team credit for. I feel like KC's got the opportunity to actually put a lot of pressure on.
I think KC has an opportunity because they have Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. I think those two guys alone gives any team an opportunity. I just think this, I have nothing bad to say about this team. Like, this Eagles team is really good. Like, they are really good. I picked them to go to the Super Bowl in August. Like, I knew they were going to be good, and they just got better. I've never discredited this team once. I was probably their biggest non-fan all season long. And so, like, I've got nothing bad to say about them. This is where I expected them to be. And I'm still mind blown that I picked both representatives in the Super Bowl correctly. Like, that blows my mind. But I was very high on both of these teams. One, because people were kind of shitting on the Chiefs. And so I was like, they're going to light a fire on all of you. I just know it. And they did. And so I'm happy that they're there. I think a loss right here would be probably very significant to this Chiefs organization. So I think a win is very important. But either way, win or lose, Philadelphia is getting burnt down on Monday. So, like, it doesn't really matter. Your city's going to be on fire on Monday. You guys are crazy. I've never seen a crazier city. I mean, who likes their city on fire because they win or lose? Like, go light a couch on fire. You don't need to burn buildings down. Like, they are the most insane fan base I've ever seen. Like, they're passionate. You got to respect that. They're passionate. They love their team. But they're scary, man. Those fans are scary. Like, I don't want to get bullied by a 6-year-old, okay? Like,
yeah, I can't believe
6-year-old that's probably the most mean person I'd ever meet, also. Like, I don't know.
On another note, how completely messed up is the AFC West. Now you add Sean Payton to the mix that basically comes in and says that he's going to change the dynamic in Denver.
He said he came in spite of Russell Wilson. That's what he said, in spite of Russell Wilson.
I love it. First thing, and you know what? Once you hear some of the things that I've heard, like Nathaniel Hackett was there just to get Aaron Rodgers. There's no other way about it.
100%.
And the fact that Russell Wilson had an office, I love that Sean Payton said that's the first thing to go. I thought that was pretty great.
The quarterback needs his own office, dude. Your office is the field. Like,
well, see, you're back to that. That goes back to the way I feel. Period about it. Quarterbacks are players. They go out there and play for the coach. The coach is their boss. They do what he says.
Like, you're a football player. Your office is the football field, or maybe the weight room. Okay, like go lift some weights. Like, I don't know, throw a football. Like, what do you need a desk for? Like, honestly, the coach has a desk, right? Like when you're in high school, and you're you're in a football school in Texas, you go in there. The quarterback doesn't have an office. It's the coach that has an office. The football player is still just the football player. He's a student, And when you get to college, when you're a quarterback, you don't get an office. Like, what does Russell Wilson need an office for? He's got 12 bathrooms in his house. Like, go home. Just go home and sit in your office at home.
I mean, in all honesty, that with that dynamic in place, that team was set up to fail the whole year. There's no way around it.
Also, this is a true statement. I absolutely love Philly cheesesteaks. If this was the debate, and I'll ask you straight up since you have no bias in the Super Bowl, what do you like better? Barbecue or cheesesteaks?
Man, you know what? I like Philly cheesesteaks, but KC barbecue is unmatched.
No, I didn't say KC barbecue because I know you've never had it.
Yeah, I have. Just not in KC. I've had it, but not exactly from KC. But
it's different when you don't come from when you're not there.
It was made from a person that makes KC barbecue, just not in KC.
Okay, fair.
So I didn't eat it in Kansas City. I ate it in Memphis.
I feel like eating it in Kansas City is part of the battle, man. But seriously though, I will take barbecue any day of the week. I'll put it over 95% of foods. But with that being said, Philly cheesesteaks are up there in my top favorite foods. Like, there's no debate. You want to get me some burnt-ends, you want to get me some barbecue, you want to get some pulled pork. Like, yeah, all of those things will go over a Philly cheesesteak, but that does not take Philly cheesesteaks out of my top 10 favorite foods.
Yeah, you know what? Get the right cheese and take away the peppers and the bell pepper and the onions and replace that with just about it, like with mushrooms and jalapenos
with just more cheese. Like that's all you need is meat and cheese.
I can definitely get into some of that too.
KC barbecue on cheesesteaks? Now we're talking. You know what? Whenever I come to Kansas City again, whether that be on Tuesday, or it be, in April or whatever, I'm going to do that. I'm going to turn some KC barbecue into a cheesesteak.
Fair.
But I got to go to KC to do it because I want it from the source.
Yeah, everywhere I go, the further I go out west, west and south, the barbecue just gets better.
Oh yeah, South barbecue is pretty good. Nothing will ever, in my opinion, ever top Kansas City barbecue. Like, I am biased, but I've eaten at a lot of places. I've traveled a lot in my life, and I'm very fair when I judge food. Like, that's fair. But Southern barbecue is really good.
Yeah. I definitely, like barbecue everywhere. When you go to Memphis, get barbecue for sure.
I do like Memphis barbecue. You know what I'm getting next year for Thanksgiving? I am going to get one from Louisiana. I'm gonna get a turducken in honor of John Madden, and I'm gonna cook a turducken.
Hey, you know what? I can. You know what? When Rob and I was on our cross Missouri trip last year, I ate barbecue in Warrensburg, which is only about a half an hour away from Kansas City. I wonder if that's probably close enough.
Hmm. Was it at that sports bar?
Yes.
Maybe. You
That,
got to get some Kansas City people all together and ask them if they consider it that.
yeah, because when we were in Sedalia, which was halfway across the state, and we worked our way over to Warrensburg, that's when we pounded the barbecue. That was a great place. There is some really cool college sports bars and stuff around when you get close to Kansas City.
Kansas City was the first time I've ever went to a restaurant and like ordered like corn, but they give you the option of corn or cheesed corn. I've never been anywhere where they're like, "Do you want cheesy corn or just corn?" And I was like, "Wait, what's cheesy corn?" And they were like, "Oh, you need to try it." And I'm like, "All right, yeah, man, let's do it." And that was the best corn I ever had. I'm a corn super fan.
So, as reported 5 hours ago,
Vicky said
uh,
Warrensburg is close enough.
Warrensburg, yeah, that was a fun spot. As of 5 hours ago, Chris Ballard said that Jeff Saturday is still in the running for that job. Eric Bieniemy is still in the running for that job. Who else? Raheem Morris, Shane Steichen, and
I
Brian
saw Shane.
Callahan.
Maybe I did see that post.
And it even says that Aaron Glenn and Bisaccia haven't been eliminated yet, but they are closer to the outside looking in. So I don't
I
think they've
think
made any
Bisaccia
eliminations.
has earned a spot somewhere.
You know, somebody's gonna give him a chance at some point. And what he did out there with that Raider team, he did more than their new head coach could do with them this year. He got them to play at a higher level.
Top it all off with a big hunk of cheesecake. I do like cheesecake. I don't eat a lot of cheesecake though. But yeah, I think Bisaccia has earned a spot as much as I thought Steve Wilkes had earned a spot. But
Well, he's
Steve
got a
Wilkes has got put in a really good situation. He gets to
yeah.
go coach like Nick Bosa, who obviously doesn't need to be coached. He's a menace. He just won Defensive Player of the Year. Like that defense is awesome, and so he got put in a very fortunate situation. Going from Carolina to that, yeah, he's a lucky guy. I think San Francisco just continues to grow next season.
I'll tell you right now, I'm not so certain that either one of those two guys will end up being the quarterback there.
Well, Jimmy's gone. We knew that. Um, Purdy's gonna take 6 months at least to heal, and who knows when Lance will. They have to bring another guy in.
I'm not certain of either of those two guys. I hate to say that because you know what, Purdy did great this year. He did what he was told coming into that
I
team.
think they keep Lance, pick someone up for the meantime until they know Lance is healthy, and sort of a backup plan in case anything happens to him. But I think they trade Purdy.
Wow. I wouldn't jump on that trade though. I just
There are a lot of guys that would give too much for him. If they get even a sixth round pick for him, they've won. Okay, he was the last pick in the draft. So if they get anything 6th round or higher, they win. I could see them moving on from him and signing someone else.
Honestly, I could see them.
Now, see, Tim, your new quarterback's about to be Derek Carr. That
Yeah.
deal's almost done. You're going to hear that deal before February 15th. That's
You know what?
almost a done deal at this point.
Don't you just wish, in actuality, that Derek Carr would be a complete ass and make them eat $40 million?
He does have a no trade clause, so he could.
He could be a complete and total. He could totally nix. He could ruin their season next year if he wanted to. And you know what? I wouldn't blame him if he did.
Have a good one, Noah. And Mickey, your comment, do you think you'll be well enough to come to KC Tuesday? If we win the Super Bowl, I'll be well enough to do anything. Even if I can barely do anything now, I'll be fine. Look, it'll take a lot of energy to sit in a car.
Dude, today's been a good day.
Motivation can drive someone anywhere. You don't like his attitude? I feel like Carr would be honestly good for the Colts and good for the Saints. If the Saints are going to go back with Winston was the answer, 100%. He just had fractures in his back. People were like, "Oh, he's throwing interceptions again." I'm like, he had 5 fractures in his back. Like, what do you expect from him? He was playing just fine before that. Also, Dennis Allen is not a good head coach. There's that too. But
Dennis Allen and Derek Carr have ties.
yeah, and so I think Carr would be good for the Saints, just like Andy Dalton. And I think Carr would be good for the Colts, just like Andy Dalton would be fine with the Colts too.
Andy Dalton to San Francisco.
I could see it. I really could see it. I think Jimmy is going to be a Buccaneer next year. I mean, it's a perfect situation for him.
I see. I kind of like Dennis Allen. I know some people don't. I really do. I think he really deserves at least another year or two.
What's up, Leo? No, I think he deserves one more year to try. Especially with Tampa Bay taking a step back, and you don't know what Carolina is going to do with a new head coach. And Atlanta was basically like equally matched with you last season. So I think Dennis Allen gets one more year to figure out what he's about, if he's going to be able to turn this team around. Michael Thomas is expected to be cut, which will save them like a crap ton of money.
I think there's something like $60 million against the cap. Did I hear that right for Michael Thomas?
I saw something that I thought it was more than that, but yeah.
Jesus criminy. You know what? There is so much, we'll have to sit down and we'll have to figure out an off-season schedule, but there is so much to talk about with this season.
Yeah, we're not going to get into it today, but eventually we got to get into Aaron Rodgers' darkness retreat because I want to talk about that.
Yes, Leo, I gave you a wrench.
I have no idea, Leo. I didn't know that.
Hey, stranger, I loved Andy Dalton. I felt like he was not the best quarterback in the world, but for being a second-round pick and coming into that team with Carson Palmer being a wuss, he did a pretty dang good job.
Listen, Carson Palmer played his last 4 years in Cincinnati injured and didn't tell anybody. That's his own damn fault. They would have helped you. All you had to do is say something. But he pretty much hid an injury. And then when he went to Arizona, he finally, he finally came out and said it. And when he started playing badly, he blamed his poor play on his injury years after. He had been injured for 6-7 years at that point. So he did good for the organization. Not a whole lot of good, but he did good for a short period of time. But at the end of the day, that dude can escort himself out because he pretty much told Joe Burrow he needed to leave Cincinnati and all this crazy shit last year. Excuse my language, but he needs to go. He canceled himself Bengals fans don't care about him anymore. Like, people would rather have Andy Dalton 100% over again than have to ever deal with Carson Palmer again. Bro, I know. I'm so mad. I am so mad. I'm so sick. Like, it's been bringing me down. This is the most I've spoke to anybody in like 5 days. So, yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out what he was wanting to, Mickey. I want to see your mom and dad. What is that?
My dad's right here. I don't have one. I don't have a mom. So.
Yeah. So basically, I wanted to be a single parent, so I had her put in an egg, and we hatched her.
Don't say that. That didn't happen. But I don't. I. Here's my parent. I have a stepmom. She's sleeping.
You know, there was a lot of people Thursday night that didn't even realize that I was married.
Drink Bud Light. Alex cures colds. That'll never happen. I would rather be sick than drink Bud Light.
Right on, Peter. That's how you fix it. I like vodka to fix a cold, personally. Vodka and tequila are
if it
way
came
up
down
my
to
list.
being sick and drinking Bud Light, like, give me sickness.
So tomorrow when I'm sitting down, I'm gonna go through
Oh,
the
are
betting.
you gonna do the Super Bowl? Because I cannot call a whole game.
Did you want to split it again? That's what I asked you the other day.
No way, I can't.
Okay, yeah, I'll be in here for the Super Bowl. I'll be in here early tomorrow. Also tomorrow, if you guys are interested, just check out. I'm gonna record as I place my Super Bowl bets when I'm sitting at work tomorrow, and just kind of have those on there. I'm gonna drop those out just to see if anybody is interested.
Why
You
don't you
guys
just post them in the Discord like normal people?
I seen some people doing that with their bet sheets. I just thought I would try it again. I tried it once and it failed. So
You lost that bet too.
yeah, I did. I don't even remember what it was, but I know I felt stupid at the end.
I don't remember what it was either, but I know you lost it because you picked like the under or something.
Oh my god, it was
It was a Colts game, I'm pretty sure.
It was one I felt I couldn't lose, and I laid and I bet the house on it.
Pizzle said, "I agree. I'd take sickness over Bud Light any day. Like, seriously, any day. I can't drink that."
Beer's just beer. After 2 beers go down, I can drink any beer.
I can't get 2 beers down to drink any beer. Are there any bets on how funny the commercials will be?
I do know that there is a bet on what the first snack chip commercial will be, whether it will be Doritos or Fritos. I think it was Fritos. Everybody says Doritos.
Well, that means it's going to be Fritos. Now you know where to put your money. I don't ever remember a Super Bowl without Doritos commercials. I don't ever remember a Fritos commercial, though. Like, I cannot recall.
I can't remember if it's Fritos or if it's something else. I know
Pringles?
I saw it. Oh, it might be a Pringles commercial.
I was going to say, I don't ever remember a Fritos commercial.
You're right, Leo. It is Pringles. It's not Fritos. It's Doritos or Pringles. But the payout odds are pretty flipping high. Mead is nectar of the gods. I like you, stranger. I can handle that. We could hang out.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, I'm not gonna bet on the game. I might bet on the halftime show and like the pre and post, but not the actual football part.
Plus 250 if Rihanna opens an umbrella or not on the stage.
$10 says she does. Like, I'm telling you right now.
I think I'm going to bet on that one. Also,
$10 says she does. But also, you know what? They got us last year. There was a prop bet that Snoop Dogg would light a blunt on stage, and he did, but they didn't show it on TV, so nobody won any money. The
Uh,
people in the stadium saw it, but it wasn't. They purposely didn't put the camera on him, so nobody won.
Here, check this one out. There is an over under bet for Chris Stapleton singing the national anthem of 2 minutes and 5 seconds.
They got a length on it because I know that some of them drag it out.
Yeah, well, last year it was a minute 50 was the over under number on it. This year it's 2:05 because of his guitar playing and because of how he
I'll take
drags
the
out words.
over.
Yeah, see, I'm excited for that one too.
Country singers, I'll take the over any time.
Yeah, Chris Stapleton's pretty good. You know what? I don't like many country music singers, but I like him.
Have you ever listened to him?
Yeah, I like a couple of the songs. I definitely like the Tennessee Whiskey song.
I couldn't have told you that was him.
Oh, I didn't tell you, and you guys can listen to this. So two things have happened in the last week where I have to share revenue on one of my streams I have to share revenue on my game stream because there is somebody that remade a song for the video game. It's a remake with no original music. I have to share my revenue on that stream with the company that owns that copyright for that. They copyrighted not even original content that was on a video game. I can't even get fair use and get full coverage, first of all. And then I promoted a channel Thursday night that had been shut down, that had stopped posting videos because somebody mentioned that it was their favorite YouTube channel. I showed a 30-second clip and promoted the channel, and then they took my video down for a whole day.
Okay.
I was dumbfounded in both instances. A flippin' remake without original music, I have to share revenue with.
I don't think they want to hear about what you have to share revenue with, but that is crazy.
I just, those were things I thought when you played video games, that you get what do you call that? Fair usage, by playing it on a video game.
A lot of people turn the sound off when they stream video games.
And maybe that's the thing. But anyway, the one they allowed me to clip it, and I clipped out the section. The other one with a video game, they just make me share revenue. I mean, hey, guess what? It's a whole 36 cents that I have to give some music company, but that's my 36 cents.
You sound greedy. It's not a good look for you.
I don't know. I was laughing at it because it was kind of crazy that it happened.
It's hilarious, actually.
So that was one of the things that they have strictened up. They've strictened up copyright issues. So, yeah, everybody, when you're posting videos, set your video to unlisted when you upload it before you set it, and save yourself grief.
Or just go balls to the wall like I do. I fear nothing. And if it fails, then it fails. If it doesn't, then...
Leo, how many people in here? I bet you there's at least one person in here that's never seen a payphone.
I've seen a payphone.
I'm just saying that with who shows up in here and argues sometimes,
I saw a payphone 2 weeks ago at Jungle Gyms.
Oh, wow. I'd like to go to Jungle Gyms and get some peppers.
I have the craziest assortment of things that I got from there. I don't know why this is sitting right here, but got some Kahlua hot sauce.
Chola.
Right here. Yeah, I got a lot of crazy stuff from gyms. I just call them gym. It's always like, it's Jungle Gyms, and I'm like, no, we're going to gyms.
Well, we're closing up on the end of the day. Anything you want to add about the game that we haven't talked about this far?
Yes. In Patrick Mahomes' career, he has only lost to 3 teams in the NFC. Once was to the Rams in 2018. I can't even tell you and that game was insane to me. It was Jared Goff versus Patrick Mahomes. It was like both teams scored over 50 or something crazy like that. It was a total shootout. And then another game in 2018, and then the Super Bowl against Tom Brady in Tampa Bay. Those are the only 3 games he's ever lost in the NFC against the NFC.
I'm going to reiterate my facts and go back to what we talked about earlier in the year. I still believe that all 16 teams in the AFC, I believe the conference was considerably stronger than the NFC.
I think the Niners and Eagles ended up right where they should because they were the 2 best teams in that conference. But everybody below that, almost all of the AFC teams could beat any of the rest of them.
I feel like whoever made it to the Super Bowl out of the divisional round teams in the AFC, I felt like all 4 of those teams would probably win the Super Bowl. And I'm not going to go back against what I think. I do think Philadelphia's got a really good team. I really think that this year is a building year for them. I feel like they're where Cincinnati was last year, just not quite good enough to win the Super Bowl. Oh, wait, is that true? CMC got comeback player of the year?
No, Geno Smith did. That's what he's mad about.
Or that Geno got it over him.
I was mad that Saquon Barkley didn't get it. Let's be real.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
I was rooting for Saquon to get that award. That's what I said earlier. Win or lose, Philly fans will burn their city down either way.
Dude, that's hilarious. And you know what? That is one of the – there's never a truer statement.
In anything, baseball, football, basketball, if their city's in the big game, if they lose or win, they will burn the city down. I don't know why they're like that, but it's just true. And, like, I feel bad for the normal people that live there, if there are any.
What's his name? CJ. CJ's info.
He doesn't live there, though.
Yeah, he does.
No, he doesn't.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I'm sure. I play Pokemon Go with him.
I thought he lived in Philly.
He lives in Pennsylvania.
Well, I mean, that's where Philadelphia is.
Hey, Nicholas Duval, I know him, and he said y'all put him in timeout on the comments. He called the cops. Okay. All right.
What's up, Nancy?
I'll see him when they get there. The Rocky statue will end up crowd surfing.
That's hilarious.
Thank you for the Super Bowl Q&A. It was a blast. Look forward to see you tomorrow. Till the game, be safe and get better. I'll try to come on with you tomorrow during pregame. But there's no way for me to talk through that whole football game. As much as I wanted to, I really wanted this to be a double stream again. I didn't expect for the worst sickness I've ever had to come down this week and put the hammer down on me. So I'm just going to enjoy it. I was going to come back during the halftime show, but I actually want to watch Rihanna, so I'm not going to. But I'll be here before and after the game unless I'm crying, because if the Chiefs win, I'll probably cry. If they lose, I'll come. I won't be crying.
She's going to cry either way.
No, I'll cry if they win. I won't cry if they lose. Why are the cops knocking on my door? No need to talk. Just sit there muted and let everyone watch your emotions, react as emotions. This was a lot for me today. So I'm just thankful that I was able to, be able to sit here for an hour and a half and talk with you guys. I didn't think I really had it in me, but it's been nice to sit and talk about football with you guys for a little bit. The only thing I've talked to is my pillow and telling how miserable I've been in the last like 5 days.
Yeah, so coming up here shortly, it's not going to be much longer. I'm going to be on third shift for a while, so that'll be fun.
Well, good thing football's over.
Well, I mean, it'd be great for football. It would be horrible for my sleep.
Oh, well, I'm saying like I don't know what you're saying actually, because I'm saying like football's over, so the football is the main sport of our channel. So like 75% of what we do is going to be over for a while with very minimal things going on.
I think Alex put her in timeout, Nicholas. I don't know.
Don't threaten the cops on me. I'll block you. It's just like, it's YouTube, man. Yeah, exactly. Rudeness is not allowed. Don't come in here and threaten the cops. Sounds like a Philly fan burning the city down. Cops help them.
Yeah, right on. Thanks,
But
guys.
I'm very grateful to be on here with you guys. If you do follow me on Twitch, the link's in the description. I'll be continuing my Hogwarts journey in the next day or two. I thought about doing it today, but I don't know what time it is, and so
It's 10 o'clock.
yeah, probably not today then.
Are you going to try to work tomorrow, or are you off?
I've been off all week.
I know, but I didn't know if you were working tomorrow or not. I didn't know if they let you have Super Bowl off.
No, they're just making me come in at 7 a.m. the next day.
I got it.
Who's your house, Alex? Oh, I'm a Hufflepuff.
She's a Hufflepuff.
That doesn't respect anything.
What?
You don't call a Hufflepuff a Hufflepuff. That is disrespectful.
Oh my gosh, everything's disrespectful. Yeah, Tim, they won on the road at Michigan.
By like 1 point.
By 1 point, and they tried to give it back away. They played horribly, but still
won.
Both
teams tried to give that game away. IU started horrible, and then they came back at about like the 9-minute mark of the first half, and they started actually playing. And then the second half, they basically were like playing hot potato, like, no, you win. No, you win.
Yeah, Michigan built 2 big leads in both halves, and Indiana basically snuck back in each time. They cut it to 4 by halftime, and then they ended up winning by 1.
Jackson Davis and Jalen Hurts.
Yeah, they played balls to the wall today.
What happened to Race? They said something about precautionary.
I saw him in his sweats when I got home. If I got home before halftime, I was going to set up a stream and do the second half. I was ready to go. And then I got home and at halftime, it was already passed. And then I just I'll watch. So all I saw was him on the sideline in street clothes. And they said precautionary at some point. I don't know what that meant. What did that mean, Balin? Oh my God. He's short on that last free throw big time, Nathan.
Yeah, but Nathan's been saying, like, he said, no, they didn't play horrible. They play like hot trash. They didn't, like, the guys who had to step up did step up. Just because he missed 1 free throw doesn't mean he didn't step up. He put up 30 points in that game.
Yeah, they played a good team game, but if people don't understand college basketball, winning on the road in the Big Ten is almost unheard of.
Like, even if they played their worst game ever, either way, they still got a win that they haven't done in 7 years. Like, this was a big deal. That last free throw was bad, but, like, yes, I watched the first half.
I mean, they only ended up with 11 turnovers in the whole game. It balanced out pretty good.
Yeah, and they had like 10 of them in the first half. Like, it was horrible.
Yeah, I mean, that's just it. Big Ten basketball. If you win on the road, any win on the road is important. It's huge. I'll take it any day of the week. I don't care. You just got to find a way to win. And plus, being no Logan Duncombe due to a sinus infection. X is going to come back, and Race is going to be back. We're gonna be bigger and better when everybody's healthy towards the end. So
I think the number one thing is Shafino needs to like find some consistency, and if they can keep opening up the floor, other guys will be able to be more impactful.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing is that the three guy should have been Race Thompson today. That's who usually plays that other.
Oh,
That
Race Thompson comes in here, and this probably wouldn't have been a 1 point game.
no, they had another body for you gotta give Big Boy credit there in Michigan. He dominated that game. I mean, he really
And he was
did.
in foul trouble from the beginning, and he stayed in and played. I mean, it was a good game. It was a messy game, but it was a really good game.
Yeah, I was screaming and yelling and.
Oh, I heard you.
Yeah, you know what, Trey? Trace and Hood Shafino show. But X makes Jalen Hood Shafino so much better when he comes back because then he can play a true two guard instead of having to run the point too.
I mean, he's gotten pretty good at it.
Yeah, you know what? I still see that he. Yeah, they only rotated 7 in the game. That's fact.
That's
But
irritating.
no, make it. They rotated 8 or did no they only rotated 7. Did
No, they only
Geronimo get the
rotated
start?
7.
Did Geronimo
started.
start? Yeah, okay.
Yeah,
He
Geronimo
still looks
started for Race.
okay. I'm gonna go wake said boys up. You ready to close it?
I am ready to close it down. I can't wait to see everybody tomorrow. Hopefully we'll sit down and have plans for the future of what happens here after tomorrow. Obviously we're not going to go away, but we'll figure things out and try to keep you included. Everybody, I can't wait to see you guys tomorrow. I don't know where I was going with that. I still got sick brain, but yeah, I appreciate y'all hanging out with us today. It was nice being back in here.
Heck yeah. Okay, where's it at? I can't even find what I'm looking for. There's your favorite overlay. Peace.
See you guys.